Okay, let's dive in. We've got a really interesting mix of sources for this deep dive. Basically, content talking about a specific episode, something called Faces, Petals, and Intimacy in Art.
And right alongside that, some details about a professional photographer.
Exact.
And what jumps out almost immediately when you look at both is, well, the name Somkiat. It appears in both.
Right, which strongly suggests we might be looking at the same person connecting these two things, the episode concept and the actual photographer.
Yeah, it seems very likely.
So our mission here is to sort of explore what these sources together tell us about how this artist, Somkiat, apparently uses faces and flowers. We want to figure out the insights behind that phrase mentioned in one source. Every glance and bloom tells a story.
Well, the source material about that episode, Faces, Petals, and Intimacy in Art, it really sets the scene, doesn't it? It talks about this poetic crossroads between human expression and, well, botanical beauty.
Poetic crossroads. I like that.
Yeah, and it highlights this idea of finding intimate storytelling in things that, might seem quite simple on the surface.
Okay, and then the other source gives us the photographer's details. Somkiat Saelek, working out of London, Ontario. And his focus, capturing beautiful and unique moments.
Right, and this is where putting the two sources together gets really interesting. If we assume it is the same person, then Somkiat's professional work capturing these beautiful and unique moments, well, it's not just about, say, event photography.
No.
It seems to connect directly back to that theme of intimate storytelling through faces and petals. The sources together imply these aren't just like passive subjects. They're being used deliberately as tools, perhaps, to express something deeper about human experience.
So less about just snapping a picture of a face or a flower and more about capturing the story within them, like that glance or that bloom holds something more.
Precisely. The sources suggest a conscious decision to use these specific things, faces and flowers, because they're just inherently packed with meaning, aren't they?
Absolutely. Faces are universal, right? Windows into who we are, how we feel, our vulnerabilities.
And flowers, too. Think about their life cycles, their fragility, all the symbolism cultures attached to them. They carry a lot of emotional weight.
Yeah, definitely.
So when an artist like Somkiat deliberately combines them, which is what those sources point towards, they're operating right there at that poetic crossroads you mentioned.
Using them to evoke layers of feeling, layers of narrative.
Exactly. It really makes you think differently about what visual art, especially photography like this, can achieve. It's beyond just showing reality.
It's like using a specific visual language. The sources highlight the language of faces and flowers to talk about intimacy, vulnerability, things we all connect with.
Yeah, and I think the key takeaway, really, from combining this information is recognizing that artists can deliberately harness the power within these symbols. Faces and flowers aren't just pretty things to look at.
No, the sources show they're being used as ways to communicate emotional depths, to tell these intimate stories. It's about the artist's focused choice of these resonant elements.
That's the core of it.
And I think this deep dive really highlights something for you listening, just how much profound meaning, how many intimate stories can be found in what seem like simple visuals. A face, a flower.
If you just pause and look closely.
Right, understanding there might be deliberate artistic choices behind it.
It definitely makes you reconsider the everyday things you see.
It really does. So thinking about that powerful idea from the sources, that every glance and bloom tells a story, maybe the question for you is, what new, perhaps intimate stories might you discover today just by looking a little closer at the faces and flowers around you?